And last but not least, the hotel, hospitality, I should say, sector, very interesting. Again, it's not all sitting on equilibrium 11, but the only markets that are not part, and I guess it's a little confusing because obviously one of the sweet spots is item number 8, right? It's got lots of opportunity to go either way. Generally at 8, there's a lot of potential rent growths for those markets, right? And so obviously, San Francisco, interesting, San Francisco, Las Vegas coming up from number 7. You got Boston coming up from 6 at equilibrium there for that particular coming out of recovery.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to come up. A lot of these markets are coming out of there. The only ones that are not are obviously Cincinnati, Columbus, Houston, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Norfolk, St. Louis, Stanford. So those are, in that recovery. My understanding is, and here's the beauty, I think we touched on that last episode, hotels can juggle in the market because they are vacant. Their lease rates are 1 day at a time, right?
Exactly.
So they're not getting stuck or behind the 8 ball. They recover and can recover faster than any other sector. And it's very interesting to see. Of course, the ones that are highest up there, Salt Lake, Honolulu, Hawaii, and so yeah. So I mean, they probably, I think Airbnbs with all that, this sector of the hotels is doing tremendously well right now.
Yeah.
And of course, we have a local developer here without naming them, but they bought a lot of Marriott hotels, 60 cents on the dollar, maybe even better than that from what I've been told. And they did that at the beginning, kind of of the pandemic, 2021.
Yeah.
For a year, 2 years, I've been told that they're in a great position to turn around and sell those, for a premium. They weren't just here in Utah, Salt Lake. They were all throughout the country where they purchased them. But that's a great story too. I mean, I remember airlines and the hotel. Nobody was traveling. Nobody was doing business except for Zoom calls there for a while, and they were able to hold their own. And obviously, some people did pull out and sell and were badly hit, but they've been able to refurbish them in some cases, or just maybe ride out the storm.
Yeah.
But that is a great sector that is poised. I think everything that it appears will be strong for the next several quarters, even with potential recession. We'll see, right? And business still has to be done. People are still trying to look at that. A recession is GDP, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's marked. So sometimes I think, is it an old mechanism to say how the market's doing? I don't know. That's not my job. I'm not an economist. But to me, when I look at it, it's like, well, I mean, every one of these businesses is not gross domestic product. They're a piece.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we have to deal with, there's restaurant industry. There's some that have proven to be able to move faster, negotiate with their suppliers, and either pass that cost on to people to where they're accepting it or not, right?
Yeah.
That's what we talked about at the time. If you have a solution to a problem, you'll continue to do well. I think that's the story of this economy, really, for the most part.
Yeah, especially for this year, 2023. I think it is a lot of how quickly can you move and how quickly can you problem solve.
Yeah, I think that's it. How can you identify the problems that are coming up? I think we're identifying some of them right now, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that. People need real estate. You have to house a business there. How can you perceive what issues there are going to be, and also what solutions are you creating outside that aren't even related to real estate, right?
Yeah.
If you're growing and you need that space because you're solving all sorts of issues out there in the economy, in the marketplace, and there's some great stories. There's some awesome stories out there with the semiconductor, the chips, coming into Arizona and some other parts of the country where they're, I can only see that bringing great growth to those areas, but we're solving a problem that's been a huge problem.
Yeah.
prices on vehicles are coming down. I mean, just all these little things.
Yeah.
Again, the American, as long as we're leaving and believing in the capital markets, capitalism, it works.
Yeah.
You provide enough of a reward to those that are trying to find and solve the problems, and they'll solve the problems. They'll find new ways, and if not us, then our artificial intelligence computers that are figuring out all this stuff. If they don't eliminate us as well, right?
Yeah.
That's about as much as I know of that too. I hear something, I'm like, this is amazing. This is great stuff. And I'm like, shit, they're going to take us out.
Yeah.
We are gone, right? I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and then I watch some of the videos with them. They have made huge advances.
Oh, I know.
And what those things can do. Because I remember hearing, not that long ago, being able to hear them say, there's no way that those machines can perceive, run, and then also assimilate this information, right? Well, they're doing it very well. And when I see them like running around the room and they've set up all these different things and they hit them to knock them off, that's just the physical side. But then they're obviously recalibrating and doing those things. We're in an exciting time. I think right now it's really going to be interesting, and I think America's leading on that as well. What that's going to bring and change of our lives. But I'm pretty bullish about this, right? I mean, all these different sectors, the only one that's really in doubt, and I say doubt, that means there's going to be a lot of opportunity there in the office sector. I mean, something's got to give, and I think there's going to be maybe either guys solving the problem of how to occupy and drain down the vacancy on some of these office buildings, either with amenities, making it a better place to work. I think, and who's going to solve that? Some of it's going to be the landlords, some of it's going to be the companies that are going to figure out how to hire people over. And we'll shift from talking about artificial intelligence to where we're at. That's our for this episode number 2. It's a great tool. You can go over there, you can see it yourself. It's something you can go back. It takes about a month to have them come up with each quarterly, so it runs about 30 days. We wanted to do this first part of December. It ended up being now. It's okay. I mean, real estate is not a rapid moving target, right? I mean, quarterly is a good analysis to see where things are going. It just gives you a snapshot of where things are going, where things have been. I don't think you could consolidate data from an overall market standpoint, industry-wide as well, and be able to see how things have been moving, +1, +2. Oh, it's been staying right there, just like the retail sector. Everything in the retail sector sitting right there at that perfect equilibrium. Very interesting. But so go over to the University of Denver, Daniels College. You just go there, you see it under the research item. You can do that.